12 movies into the Multiverse Saga, and it's time to answer the big question.
Which one is the best? And which one should be pruned from the timeline?
I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm Anthony.
And welcome to Heroes and Hype. So this week we are looking at the 12 movies that have happened in Phase 4 and 5.
Yes.
I know we haven't finished season, Phase 5 yet, but we needed something to do for our first episode, so we're doing it a little bit early. It is what it is. So we are going to go through all 12 movies. We're going to go from number 12 down to number 1, starting with the worst, obviously, and getting to the best one. So
we're starting with Quantumania.
So why is it Quantumania? I should have pre-put 12 on here, but why is it Quantumania? We're going to get through this quick. Let's go. Why is it number 12? Don't just say it.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
Well, that's why it's 12.
I know. Is it, right, so, is it that bad a movie, or is it just that it was a huge disappointment? Or is it both?
I've got to admit, I didn't hate it.
I think I was just more disappointed.
I get the disappointment. I get it.
Yeah.
I liked how Kang was being introduced, that obviously he's not been a big bad until now because he's kind of been imprisoned in a way.
Yeah.
I liked the idea.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the
execution. The execution didn't work.
It just didn't, no.
I think it feels even worse now because of the post-credit scene. Because that's now not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Huge, massive error making every Kang look like Jonathan Majors. I know it probably sounded like a good idea at the time, but now it's like you just can't recast him. I mean,
but even then, you can still recast him. I'd have forgiven that scene if they'd have kept Kang and just changed the actor. I would have forgiven it because I'd have been like, we know why it happened.
Yeah.
Get it.
Everybody understands.
It's the same as if somebody died.
Yeah.
It's not something that can be undone.
No.
Be disappointed with the actor for messing his life up by doing something that's stupid.
Yeah.
But, we would forgive the situation. But the fact that we've got rid of Kang entirely now.
Yeah. It's not all Kang's fault. Not all Jonathan Majors' fault.
No.
MODOK just were.
Yeah. MODOK was awful.
The more I talk about it, the easier it is to have it. MODOK was garbage. It looked... I'm just slating it now. MODOK was rubbish. Jonathan Majors was really good.
He was really good.
He was the best part.
That's the upsetting part.
He was the best part of the movie by a mile.
Yeah.
None of it seemed to fit. It all felt a little bit stupid.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect example, and there's another movie in here that's probably a good example of what was wrong with the MCU, but it's the perfect example of what was wrong with it.
Yeah.
And the fact that it had just completely gone in the wrong direction. Too kiddie, looked like an advert to sell toys.
Yeah.
Didn't enjoy it. Massive disappointment.
Yeah.
Next. Gets harder now. What's number 11?
I'm really sad to say it, but I think I'd have to go with Thor: Love and Thunder.
I thought that as well. I was struggling between, and I know I'm going to get hate for this online, I was struggling between Thor and the Marvels. And I don't not like the Marvels for all reasons.
Was better than Thor,
I think it was, yeah. We'll come back to the Marvels. Thor, why didn't we like Thor? Because we quite liked it at the time.
I've got to admit, I still love it.
Do you?
Yeah, I still really like it, but I know as a general consensus, I'm not going on what I think mine would be. I'm going off what I think.
No, go with
the general.
Yeah, no, go with what you.
Mine would be complete.
We need to come to an agreement here on what me and you between us.
I agree
an order
from the overall response of it, and that's kind of what I'm going with. I know that I'm very easily pleased. I'm aware of this.
Oh, there's so many jokes, but I said I was going to keep it clean.
Behave.
But
yeah,
what was disappointing? Was it more disappointing, or was it a bad movie, or again both?
I don't think either. It was just, I think technically it was too silly.
It was miles too silly.
That's
the biggest issue. In my opinion.
Yeah. And, I found it absolutely hilarious at the time, but I also understand why people got pissed off. Oh, sorry, I've said it already.
That's fine.
People got annoyed.
Marvel can say it. We
got annoyed at Thor flying on his Stormbreaker like a broom. It was hilarious.
It was
so
good.
funny, but it was so stupid.
I've said this, right? First time I watched it, I really didn't like it.
Yeah.
I came out, I said to you, I was so disappointed, I was gutted. And then I went back to watch it like 2 days later.
And you loved it.
Son. And I felt like because I was with him,
yeah,
he was like 9, 10 at the time.
Yeah.
Bad dad, taking him to a 12A. But he really enjoyed it. And I think I really enjoyed it by sitting and watching it with him.
Kind of through his eyes.
All the silliness. Maybe it was part of that, part of kind of watching it through his eyes. And maybe because I wasn't surprised by how silly it now was.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more. And at that point in the MCU, I was like, right, okay, I'm all right with this now. They're getting comic booky. They're going a bit more silly. They've proper leaned into the Taika Waititi style.
Yeah.
But then, because of what came after it, I felt like this was the turning point where the MCU started to get too silly. And I can't forgive it for that.
No, I get
sense.
I get it.
And again, it was disappointing. Gore the God Butcher.
Those bits were phenomenal, by the way.
Good.
The whole losing of the colour, his acting, Christian Bale really pulled that and made it his own, and I thought, fair play to him.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had the CGI of like the kid's head and all of that kind of stuff that then took you out of it again.
Because the CGI was... Didn't know what you were talking about for a minute.
Do you remember now?
Yeah. They fixed it in post, and it still doesn't look any better on Disney+.
And there, I've got to say, my favourite scene in that was going up to the Olympus type.
Yes.
With Zeus and everything being there and all that kind of stuff. I actually really enjoyed that scene. Again, we had another...
I did as well.
End credit that
didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Brett Goldstein?
Yeah.
As Hercules. And I'm not
convinced it's going to go anywhere.
It didn't necessarily have needed to have gone somewhere by now. I just don't. Yeah, I don't think it's going to go anywhere at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, the biggest thing was it was far too silly. Again, it looked like it was just trying to sell toys to kids.
Yeah.
And
the screaming goats were amazing.
The screaming goats, I'll forgive it. That's why it's at 11. What we got for number 10? Looking at this list, personally, I feel like it gets tougher now.
Yeah.
They were the easy two to get rid of.
Yeah.
I personally would go for the Marvels at number 10.
Okay.
Now, before everybody jumps on the bandwagon and goes, oh, you hate women and stuff like that, I don't, I promise. That's not the issue I had.
I was going to make a joke then to stop myself.
Good. Well done. Well done. Right. That's not the issue I have with this movie. In the
fact,
slightest.
One of my favourite parts is Miss Marvel.
She's brilliant.
She's amazing.
All great.
They are all great, but she stood out for me.
Definitely.
She was massively stand out. I think seeing as it was essentially Captain Marvel 2, I think she overshone.
Oh, definitely.
Brie Larson.
Yeah. But they were all good. I enjoyed them as the team.
Yeah.
And I want to see more from those characters, particularly Miss 100%. Marvel. It all just... This was the first... It felt, again, it was too comic booky, and I know it's a comic book movie, and I know that's what we do.
Yeah.
But it just felt a little bit too colourful, a little bit too silly. The story didn't really have one.
No.
Who was the bad guy? Dar-Ben.
Yeah.
It just didn't fit.
Yeah.
It didn't strike me as like a really solid story. It felt more like, we need to make a movie, and we need to make a movie with these three superheroes.
Yeah.
What can we build around it? And I get that that's what all movies are.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like they had a story first.
Now,
it felt like that was the least of their worries.
I'm going to be controversial here.
Go on.
I loved The Planet Where Everyone Sang.
I liked The Planet Where Everyone Sang.
And a lot of people hated it.
I thought that was clever. I liked it.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Like, the people that said that they hated it, they were like, why did you have to make him sing? And I counteracted it and said, well, why did they have to make that planet blue? Why did they have to make those aliens green?
Yeah.
Like, there's always got to be something different about a planet to just make them variants. Yeah, like, and it's a nice, simple way to do it, but also it's kind of culturally beautiful. Like, the way everyone danced coming in and stuff, and the hilarity of Miss Marvel dancing and just loving life and just following it. Like...
She is just us.
Yeah.
Just us.
How we would be in those situations. Yeah.
Just being like, what is going on here? This is
100%.
mega. This is mega. I'm in the MCU.
So I actually, the Marvels again, I quite enjoyed it, but I understand why people didn't.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I think there was again, from quality of the film, the story wasn't great.
Yeah.
It just felt like we're just producing things just for the sake of producing things. And again, it wasn't going anywhere, but none of this goes anywhere.
No.
None of this is going anywhere.
No.
Again, people have been talking about that. It's all been filler, but we need to know where we're going.
Yeah.
We've got 2 more Marvel movies this year.
Yeah.
Yeah? And then 1 more Marvel movie at the start of next year. Then it's Doomsday. How are we 3 movies away from Doomsday?
I don't know, because we've got no Avengers.
It's not...
Technically,
these 12 movies should have been laying the groundwork, and they might do. There might be some huge surprise and it all fits into place.
Yeah.
But I can't see it.
No, I can't.
At all.
And if they did pull it out the bag with something and we've gone, oh my God, we've been seeing this the whole time.
Take it all back.
Yeah.
Take it all back.
I'd come and do a retraction specifically.
Phenomenal. if they've had us thinking,
I
mean, it's a dead risky move, but if they've had us all thinking, what's going on here? This is all garbage.
Yeah.
And then it all somehow pulls together. Yeah.
I have got to admit,
all power to him.
I loved the end credit on that.
Oh, yeah. But it didn't go anywhere.
Well, I think it could for Doomsday.
Potentially. Yeah, probably.
Because I think she'll get pulled back into the battlefield from another thing, but it's...
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, okay.
But I don't think... I think their entire plan at that stage was just for Doomsday.
Yeah.
Secret Wars was just, let's just throw as many characters as we can because that'll
100%.
Cool, rather than let's make it work. Let's make it feasible. But yeah, we've got the Marvels at number 10. Much tougher now. What are you going with for number 9?
Can I tell you the 3 I'm kind of wavering on?
What are you struggling with? Can I guess the 3 that you're struggling with?
Yeah.
Eternals.
Yeah.
Black Widow.
Yeah.
Wakanda Forever.
No.
Doctor Strange.
Multiverse of Madness, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
They're the 3 that I'm kind of like...
I'm happy to have them as the next 3.
Yeah.
If I had to put them in order, which I do, welcome to the show.
I'd probably put Eternals next.
I'd put Eternals
Now, I want to say this. Eternals wasn't bad.
No, Eternals
should have been a series.
Eternals was a fantastic TV series that they condensed into
one long movie.
Yeah.
I think had it have been a TV series, it'd have done much better.
Oh, miles better.
Loads better.
It is
if people love Andor, Eternals would have been an amazing series.
Andor. The cast was too big for a TV series.
I know, that's the downside.
I think once you threw Salma Hayek and Angelina Jolie into that,
there's no way it could have been
a TV series.
I know.
But yeah, it would have been mega
so much
TV series.
Yeah.
So story wise, there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
I think that again, there were too many new characters.
Yeah.
Which again isn't a problem. It's not a negative, but there's too many characters to fit into a 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah.
And I think that was the biggest problem.
Yeah.
And we'll come to Wakanda Forever. Not necessarily new characters, but there was too much going on in that movie.
Yeah.
And there's even more going on in Eternals.
Yeah.
I think they didn't nail the tone. I can't even remember what order this all came out now at this point. But Eternals was really, really, I say grounded. It was about giant aliens.
Yeah.
But it felt like they were trying to keep it quite grounded and quite serious and dark to a degree. I can't remember any jokes in the movie.
No. Apart from Harry Styles at the
end. I forgot that even.
And we had what's his name as the
Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt, yeah.
I mean, yeah, that
and I love him.
That rescued it a little bit for me, I suppose. But yeah, it was just too serious. But then I feel like everyone sat there and went, "Oh, that was boring, and a bit dark, and a bit beige." And then they went Thor: Love and Thunder and threw that and said it was like, and it's like, no,
gave everyone epileptic fits with all the colours instead.
We don't need that much. We don't need that much. Give us a balance. But yeah, I'm happy with.
I'm happy with Thor flying on it.
No, stop. Okay, I'd out of these next 2. I'd go Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, I'd go Multiverse of Madness.
So we're going Multiverse of Madness for number 8.
Yeah.
Right. I rewatched this the other day because you
Me too.
watched it the other day. And I watched this with Chloe, my 10-year-old.
Yeah.
She really enjoyed it. She's not into Marvel at all.
Yeah.
And do you know what? We've got the last half hour to watch.
Yeah.
It was like 9:00. And she was like, Daddy, can you pause it? And I'll watch the end with you tomorrow. I haven't got around to watching the end of it yet. But she was that into it.
Yeah.
I don't, that's the first time I've watched it since we watched it at the cinema when it first came out. Miles better.
Yes.
Miles better.
Yes.
I think the biggest issue with most of these movies is the level of disappointment.
Yeah, I think it's what we were promised to what we got.
Yeah.
I think going back and looking at it now, you go, actually, it was a really good film. Yeah. But the expectation that was behind it was so much higher than what we got, or so different to what we got, that we just walked out of it going, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
And I think that's what spoilt it a little bit. You know, we got a film called Multiverse of Madness, and we thought we were going to get multiversal big time stuff. And while we did get a lot of multiverses,
it was all set in alternate universe. There was
nothing that was actually really substantial for us to sink our teeth into.
I do think it was high expectations though. But
they
did it with the name Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Everyone's sitting there going like, oh, Tobey Maguire might show up in it, this person might show up in it, that person might.
Yeah.
And a lot of them did. The Illuminati.
Mephisto, we thought Mephisto was going to turn up.
We got John Krasinski as Richards. You know, we did get
the Illuminati was a brilliant scene, to be fair.
Yeah, we did get that.
Patrick Stewart back in the yellow car.
Yeah,
was brilliant. To be fair,
but it was all condensed into like a 15.
It is a yellow bumper car. Let's be honest.
Yellow bumper car. Yeah. It was all condensed into like 15 minutes in the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it wasn't there.
Yeah.
But again, going back and watching it without having those expectations, I did really enjoy it.
Yeah.
But the horror aspect, there we go.
Yeah.
They were spot on.
Yeah, it was.
Tame because it's a 12A.
Yeah.
And it's very kiddie.
But it was definitely there.
It was definitely there, 100%.
When she walks in to fight the Illuminati, and she's got the blood all coming down her face.
When she's chasing them
and then through the tunnels, like, it was so good.
Really good. And then when she kills Patrick Stewart, like proper like Ghostface zombie.
Yeah.
That was really good as well.
Honestly, like, it wasn't, and this is the thing, you know, we're sitting here kind of talking them through and breaking them down. When I look back at it now, I go,
Apart from two of them.
But even Thor: Love and Thunder, I know you're still
not a good movie. But
Quantumania, I think it was just not a good movie as Quantumania.
Yeah. They've all got, apart from Quantumania, and do you know what? They've all got redeeming features.
Yeah.
But Quantumania's only redeeming feature is Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
And we can't have
him anymore.
Yeah, we can't have him anymore. So that
we don't talk about.
We don't. No, not about Jonathan Majors anymore. We've said it 12 times in the last 30 seconds. Don't talk about him anymore. So I'm happy with that. And then Black Widow at number 7.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Black Widow.
I enjoyed Black Widow, but it was...
I think it's the opposite. I had low expectations for Black Widow.
Yeah.
And I still don't think it was the best movie ever, but it had COVID to battle with.
I didn't like Taskmaster.
Taskmaster was just a waste of time.
Yeah. And I think
that's why she's going to be dead in the first 12 minutes.
That's what disappointed me with it.
Yeah.
That's why it's number 7 for me, because the villain was just not great.
We got Yelena.
But we got Yelena.
Used to the foreign.
She is amazing.
And she is one of the highlights of the MCU.
She is.
At the moment.
Her and Red Guardian, I'm all for.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. And do you know what? It was nice to finally have Scarlett Johansson having her own movie.
That's what I was about to say.
It was well overdue. It wouldn't have fit in beforehand, to be fair.
No.
And it would have felt like it was shoehorned in.
I think after her death, it was a nice homage to us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
hang on, whoa, she was already dead, wasn't she? The character.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another reason I didn't. That's one of the negatives as well. I forgot that thing.
She died in Endgame.
Yeah, It just it takes away the level of importance of that.
No,
movie.
I don't think it did.
I did.
I quite liked the fact that she'd gone and we've got one more thing to say. This is her worth. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she'd only had smaller roles within other people's films.
Yeah.
I like that they went, no, this one's for her.
What if we'd somehow found out either at the end of that movie or further down the line that we're in the multiverse, that this wasn't 616 Black Widow?
That'd be cray.
Yeah, we could have brought her back.
Yeah.
We're gonna have all this. Secret War's going to happen. We're going to have multiverse. We're going to have Tony Stark back. We're definitely going to have Chris Evans back because he says he's not coming back, which means he's coming back. But yeah, that would have been an interesting way to do it as well. Right, it's getting really difficult now.
Yeah.
I
think
I thought I knew what my number one was, and now looking at this, I'm struggling.
Yeah. I think the next would be Wakanda Forever.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go Wakanda Forever. What are we up to? 6?
6, yeah.
Right, okay. Good. Too much going on.
There was a lot going on.
There was too much going on. It was too long a movie as well. It was 2 hours, 42 minutes.
Really annoyed that they killed Angela Bassett. I can't get over that.
I started rewatching it again the other day. I didn't get that far. Not that I had to turn it off or I was bored or anything like that. Just life happened, setting this rebrand up and stuff like that. But did she die in it? Forgot.
Yeah, she died.
Yeah.
She drowned, didn't she?
Don't know. Can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember the whale. I haven't got the whale bit yet.
Because I was like, okay, we had the funeral for T'Challa, and I was that blew me away.
Horrible.
That blew me away, but
Very
it was
well done.
beautifully done for them. So then I was kind of like, okay, that's it for the deaths. I thought they might put someone like on the brink, but then for them to actually kill off Angela Bassett's character, I was very, very upset over that. Didn't get over it.
There was some phenomenal acting in this movie.
There was. 100%.
Mega.
100%.
Again, and particularly Angela Bassett. She was really good in it. Oscars, don't know. I don't really think the Oscars is that much of a thing anymore, to be honest. And I don't think it really matters if she got nominated for an Oscar or not.
Yeah.
Because she didn't, because that was the big kickoff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She'd been nominated. Possibly, probably, but I don't think it's about how good an actor or actress you are.
No.
Most of the time in the Oscars. But yeah, I think it had a really, really tough job, Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
Dealing with the whole Chadwick Boseman situation. It was never just going to be easy, was it?
No.
At the end of the day. And I do think, to be fair, I think they did the best with what they had to work with.
Yeah.
I think from a mixture, a tone perspective, I think it was probably a little bit silly in parts, but it was really, really close to being spot on. It towed the line really well between the serious, the drama, the emotion, and then the comic book, a little bit silliness. Possibly just a little bit too silly with the costumes. But yeah, overall,
I think the costumes was the biggest problem in the whole thing, wasn't it?
The Ironheart costume at the end was garbage. That thing that Okoye...
The whole bit of the story was pointless to me.
They could have done that movie taking her out.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's going to be a good character. I'm sure she's going to be an interesting character. They didn't need to throw her into this. Not when you're trying to establish a new Black Panther.
Yeah.
If Chadwick Boseman hadn't died...
Yeah.
And you would introduce, and it was just he was there, and they would introduce Ironheart.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
but you're already having to deal with introducing Namor, dealing with T'Challa's death. We don't then need Ironheart to be in there as well.
Yeah.
The whole thing going on with the Okoye and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
it was just a little bit. It was a little bit too much. But they, at the end of the day, they've got an end goal. We've got the Ironheart series coming out at the end of this year. They needed to establish her as a character somewhere.
Yeah.
And if they'd already figured out that they were going to do it this way, they just had to do it, and they had to make the best of it, I suppose, didn't they?
100%.
So that's number 6. We're into the top 5.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with number 5. I'm going to go Captain America.
That's exactly where I was going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Which, right, we've done the Captain America Brave New World review under that superhero thing. It's still on the podcast feed. It's not on the YouTube channel, but there's a link to the podcast in the description. We didn't have to spend ages on it.
No.
Massively better than I thought it was going to be.
Huge improvement from what the trajectory we've been on.
Miles better. It's put us back on course.
100%.
I think it had a lot of work to do. I think it wasn't a perfect movie, like we said, partially because of the work they had to do and the amount of reshoots that they needed with it, but also because it had so many reshoots, and obviously Marvel wasn't in particularly the best place.
Yeah.
They've definitely turned it around. If you'd said to me, how long's this been out now? 2 weeks? Less than 2 weeks, 10 days? If you'd said to me 2 weeks ago, we're going to do this, and you're going to have to, where do you think you're going to put Brave New World? I'd have been putting it with Quantumania and Thor.
Yeah.
It was a huge surprise.
Yeah,
made up with it.
Me too.
And then it becomes very difficult.
I think I know my order.
Okay. I'm going to go number 4, and we can argue this out. I'm going to go number 4. I'm going to go Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah. Okay. Sound. Good.
I'm good with that.
This is easy. This is too easy. There's no drama. Okay. Number 4.
Solid film.
Great film.
Can't really fault it.
Haven't seen it though since it came out.
I have. I feel like again there was a good balance.
Mm-hmm.
I say serious. I like obviously the Asian culture being injected into it.
Yeah.
I like all of that side. I loved Trevor.
Trevor was a boss. And what was Trevor's pet thing called?
I don't know, but it was awesome.
The fluff ball.
Yeah. It was awesome. And I think the
Trevor in it, it's just good in it.
The balance between the thing was, we had Awkwafina as well, and she's got like a subtle comedy all the way through everything that she does anyway.
Yeah.
But because Shang-Chi was quite a serious character, apart from like the karaoke stuff at the beginning, his actual story with his parents and everything, that was all very, very serious. So the ridiculousness of Trevor and his situation, I feel like balanced it out really well.
But it worked in the movie.
100%.
Trevor is probably the silliest, stupidest character in the entire
speech about Planet of the Apes and the monkeys riding horses was the funniest thing I have ever experienced in my life. I was crying in the cinema with laughter. It was perfect.
But they balanced it.
Yeah, they did.
It was just pure, stupid, silly. Yeah. And I didn't come out of that movie thinking, Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Came out thinking, this is great. That was perfect balance between comedy, serious tone, comic booky, the comic booky costume at the end, which I know is quite a tame costume anyway, but they still nailed it. We had some little thing with wings flying around with no face, which was clearly just to sell toys, which they did in the Disney store like a week later.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like I was just watching an advert.
Didn't feel wedged in.
No, it didn't. It was spot on. Yeah. And it was so early days in the Multiverse Saga, and we've just gone off on one completely.
Yeah. Downside was the end credits again.
Hang on.
Them being taken
but
through.
It was such a good post-credit.
It was a good post-credits when we felt like it was giving us something.
Yeah.
But again, we're now, 3 years on?
I think that's the one that they're going to come back to, though.
I think it's going to be the one.
Because it was a beacon, wasn't it? They thought it was a beacon.
Well,
because with Carol,
somebody said that they think it's one of the bracelets.
Yeah, I think it's one of the bracelets. Oh, one of the 10 Rings bracelets?
No, one of
the Eternals
Marvel's bracelets.
Yeah, it could be. But then the Eternals have all got these bangles.
I know. So this is the thing. So I don't really know.
We're not here to talk about what he's going. But yeah, I would say, but if that's the biggest disappointment,
well, exactly,
it might get answered.
Yeah.
We don't know. But yeah, absolutely love Shang-Chi. Go back to that.
Yeah.
Get us back to that tone. Not with every movie.
No.
Brave New World did a really good job of being serious.
I like the fact that you've got different takes on stuff. I liked the horror aspect in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, I did.
I like the Asian culture in Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
There's loads of different things that you can inject to it to make it your own and still keep it fresh and different, but staying on that trajectory of making sure that the story's being told, it's not too silly and not too OTT, and get us to where we need to be excited for what's coming.
Yeah. And it nailed it, and then it all went wrong after that.
Yeah.
Top 3.
Okay, so
go on, you go with what you think is going to number 3, and I'll tell you why you're wrong. Or why you're right.
I think it's got to be Deadpool and Wolverine at 3.
I would also go Deadpool and Wolverine at number 3, yeah. Right. What do we say about Deadpool and Wolverine? I really enjoyed the movie.
I really enjoyed the movie.
I think I've seen it. I've watched it on Disney Plus since it's come on Disney Plus.
I remember being worried about what they were going to do with Deadpool 3 when we knew that it was finally being taken over by Disney Marvel.
Yeah.
Because I know that there was a lot of concern that it wasn't going to be R-rated anymore and all of that kind of stuff. And they delivered.
Oh, 100%.
They really delivered. Now, with Deadpool, you can get away with a lot that you can't get away with in the other movies as well. And this is the big difference between this movie and everything else that's in
definitely,
a minute. But I think that they did it pretty much perfectly.
I do. I think it was saved by its nostalgia and its cameos.
Yes.
I think if you actually look at the story involved, there's not really much of one there.
No.
But I it's completely forgivable because of every other poo and fart joke in the movie, and it just works. It just works in this movie. We got Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. We got the mask. We got the cameos. We got Chris Evans back as Johnny Storm, which was mega.
Wesley Snipes as Blade.
Wesley Snipes. There'll only ever be one Blade.
We finally got Channing Tatum as Gambit.
But it's not even the fact that we got all that. It's the fact that the Ryan Reynolds, whoever's in charge, they know what we want. They're talking to us. The joke about Blade, there'll only ever be one Blade, all that sort of stuff. Nod to the camera.
Yeah.
The Chris Evans reveal. The fact that we didn't know Chris Evans was in it in the slightest.
Yeah.
Then we heard him, and I'm like shaking you, going, "It's Chris Evans, Cap, it's Cap." And then it's Cap, and it's like, "Oh my god, Cap's in it." And then it wasn't Cap. It was just like like a whole like range of emotions in like 17 seconds. It was really good. The opening and sync, bye bye bye.
Amazing.
It was just
so funny.
There wasn't any substance to the movie.
No.
But the wrapping paper was perfect. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like it was spot on. But that's why I think that's why it snuck into the top 3. Yeah. But it definitely couldn't.
You know when you buy your kid a Christmas present that you think's going to be dead good, and then they play with the box. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like it was just Deadpool, so we just fell for it instantly.
And I don't feel like it's going to go anywhere.
No,
I don't think any of it's going to go anywhere.
I actually think that the TVA stuff made it more confusing post Loki.
No, but they had,
if anything else. I know.
They needed the link, didn't they?
I know.
But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was
hilarious.
It's there for you to enjoy.
Yeah.
I enjoyed every minute of it. And even when I went back and watched it again, I enjoyed it all.
Yeah.
Can you see what I'm about to put my number 2 next to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we in agreement?
Oh, no.
Are you okay? What were you going to go as number 2? We're going to have a fight. We're going to fight this one out now.
I was going to go Spider-Man.
Were you?
As number 2.
I'm going to go Guardians as number 2.
Were you?
This is perfect. We didn't plan this. This is perfect. Right.
So the reason that I was going to put Spider-Man as number 2 is because I think you only want it as number 1 because of the nostalgia.
No, I don't only want it as number 1 because of the nostalgia.
Do you not?
No. I'd say, right, I love Guardians. I mean, it's a perfect trilogy.
Yeah.
I know some people don't like number 2. I really enjoyed number 2.
Yeah.
Guardians 1 is still better than number 2, but Guardians 3 then went even better out.
Yeah.
I think with Guardians 2, I'm not knocking it at all. The whole thing with the High Evolutionary, I think that they could have possibly done more with that as a future villain. Yeah. I can't really fault it. I think these are 2 perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect movie.
No.
But these 2 movies are as close to perfect for a comic book Marvel movie as you can get.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that just nudges Spider-Man to number 1 is the nostalgia. Is the Tobey, is the Andrew Garfield. Yeah. All that excitement that we talked about with Deadpool.
Yeah.
And go like Chris Evans, then it was Cap, then it wasn't Cap, it was Johnny Storm. That was great, but as I said, there was no substance to the movie. That moment when we were sat in the cinema and Andrew Garfield walked through that portal and took his mask off, was just like, it was insane.
I was so excited.
It was mega.
It was very emotional.
Then we got Tobey, we got Alfred Molina, we got Willem Dafoe. The swing at the end of the movie, Andrew Garfield catching Zendaya, all that sort of stuff.
I agree.
I think they're both quality of a movie. They're both the same.
Yeah.
And all that extra little bits about how it sounds really deep. How it made me feel in the excitement and the goosebumps. It just there's no way out into it.
But for me, and the reason I went the other way was because I was thinking, was nostalgia the safety net for that? And I do think that it was cradled with the nostalgia.
Okay.
And that's why, whereas Guardians of the Galaxy has stood out on its own because it was brilliant. Whereas I feel like they rested on the fact that people love those characters and were getting those back.
Yeah.
And didn't have to, I say work as hard. They did work hard because they had those moments like
definitely
Tobey finally catching and, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Not Tobey.
Andrew
Garfield catching Zendaya and all.
Closure, like 10 years.
Yeah. And I 100% get it. But I feel like they knew that would, so they've gone, well, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like it's been used as a bit of a safety net, and as much as you've said, like, kind of that pushes because the nostalgia just makes it that little bit, I actually think that it makes it a little bit weaker in a way because that's what they've tried to do.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I disagree. You're entitled to your opinion, but you're wrong. No, I don't think we're going to agree on it. I love Guardians. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
It made me cry multiple times.
Yeah.
I know it made you cry in the cinema as well. We were sat away from each other because there was literally just 2 disabled seats in the front left, and we had to sit, like, looking over to Anthony. He's just like, and I was the same as well, to be fair. But it had a broader range of emotions. Definitely, it was just. Yeah, it was great. They were both great. This is a real struggle.
To be fair, sitting here and thinking about it now, if I walked out of this room and decided to put one of those films on now, I'd go for Spider-Man.
Oh, you're such a sellout.
It does sound like it, but genuinely.
Do you know what though? I'm still sticking with Spider-Man as my number 1. Yeah. But I don't know what I thought was going to be my number 2. But until we sat down and talked about this, I didn't think I'd be. I didn't necessarily even think of Guardians.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it'd be that tough of a decision.
No.
And I was sitting there when we were going through this and we got down to Deadpool going number 3 and stuff like that. It wasn't just like Spider-Man.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. It was like, actually, this is tough.
Yeah.
I don't think I've watched Guardians since the cinema though.
No, I don't think I have.
And it's a great movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I know not that it's a bad thing about it.
I have. I tell a lie, I have watched it again.
I don't feel like I've got the energy.
Don't you?
No, in a positive way.
Yeah.
It's emotional.
Yeah.
It's gonna be knackering for me to sit and watch Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Whereas I've watched No Way Home multiple times because if you're in the mood for something, whether it's just an easy watch or whether you want to get engrossed in it,
the first Goblin grenade.
Kind of just the fact that we're back as the Goblin.
No, I know.
It was just mega. Yeah. That's me. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think
that's a fair setup. We've still got two more movies. No, Thunderbolts is the last movie of this phase.
Is it?
I think so. Yeah, phase 5. Not the Multiverse Saga, obviously.
Yeah.
Multiverse Saga is going to go into Secret Wars and stuff.
So Fantastic Four is the first.
Fantastic Four, I believe, is the first to phase 6. Yeah,
okay, that was a mouthful.
It was very difficult to say. I'm not even editing this either. Perfect.
Okay.
Before we wrap up, should we do Podfans Assemble? See what listeners think.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fab.
I'm not editing this out either. You tell me when you read that one.
So, Sleepy Dad said, I'm erasing Thor, Love and Thunder and the Marvels from my brain. Found them too focused on terrible humour and poor stories overall. Shang-Chi was okay. Think it lost it at the Secret Village part. Spider-Man carrying a lot of the weight in generally good movies and gave us all the Spider-Men together. Guardians 3 is a standout amongst what have been some very poor movies. Haven't seen the new Cap yet to comment.
It's good, Cap. Yeah.
Jesse said, I didn't even realise that there had been 12 movies. We were the same, to be fair. Spider-Man No Way Home has to be the best. It was the only one that came close to the same cinema experience as Infinity War and Endgame, and I didn't even enjoy the first 2 Spidey films.
It did, didn't it? It felt like like a big Avengers type movie. It had that feel to it.
Deadpool and Wolverine also has to be up there based on overall movie-going experience. I tried to watch Multiverse of Madness twice and fell asleep both times, so it's going to have to be the worst that I've seen. Thor, Love and Thunder might have been bad, but it didn't put me to sleep. I've yet to watch a good chunk of these because they've not sparked my interest at all. Other highlights would be Captain America Brave New World and an unpopular one, but I really enjoyed Black Widow. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
The quality hasn't been there at all.
No.
I've probably enjoyed more of the series that have come out than the films, but even a few of them have been hard misses. Looking forward to the upcoming releases, though, so I haven't given up on the MCU.
No, fair play. And it's back on track. It's 100% back on track now, especially Brave New World. We're going to have to do a series one, a multiverse.
Oh, yeah.
A season. I don't think I haven't watched Echo yet, and I don't think I've got the energy to watch it.
I haven't watched it, no.
But yeah, that's us, guys. Let us know what you think. Either drop us a message on socials at Heroes and Hype or in the comments now because we're on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's us, basically. Yeah. Wrapped up, done.
Perfect.
First video back. Nice.
Cheers, guys.
See you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.